That's making me feel quite tall. All right, welcome everyone, and welcome to people who are joining us online in the virtual world that we are often living in these days. Thank you for coming along or joining in for our Let's Talk Aged Care session. My name is Jen Hall. I'm the CEO for Uniting SA, and I'm really pleased to be able to have a chat to you today about aged care, because it's a pretty complex area. So that's our idea, is to welcome you, give you the information we've got, give you access to our staff and our team who know a fair bit and can help you with maybe some questions and navigation, and that you walk away getting a feel for who we are and maybe having a bit more information. So I'll just go through what we're here to do today in terms of our agenda. You will see, like I said, we've got a bit of info there on navigating the system, which is complicated. Retirement living. So Uniting SA is a large organisation, and we've got a lot of different services, right through from in-home care to retirement living, housing options, as well as residential aged care. And this facility that we're in today in West Lakes is actually a blend of independent living on our top floor and residential aged care with some more services in the middle floors. And we're at the moment, for people joining us virtually, you won't be able to see it, but we're in what will be our cafe area in a couple of months, so that's really exciting. So we'll cover off on the things you can see on the screen in terms of the agenda, and after that we're going to have some question and answers and a bit of mingling. All right, so I'd like to start by acknowledging that we are meeting on the lands of the Kaurna people of the Adelaide Plains, and we pay our respects to the elders past and present, and we're very privileged to be on this land. In terms of housekeeping, so if we have a need to have an emergency evacuation, we'll just go out through the glass doors. Funnily enough, I was at a meeting on Monday and off went the fire alarm, and we all thought, oh, that's just a test. But no, we all had to get out and go into the car park. So you never know when you're giving the emergency directions, you never know if you're going to be needed to do it. So that's what will happen if we do. Bathrooms, if you just chat to a staff member, they'll guide you towards those. In terms of COVID safety, everyone's got their masks on, we've got sanitiser around. Info packs are available, and you might have picked those up already. And lastly, don't forget to fill in the raffle ticket and for your chance to win a voucher for a nearby cafe, so that's fantastic. So over to a bit of info about us. So we have turned 100 3 years ago, founded in 1919, and back in those days we were known as the Port Mission, and over the years the organisation's grown and has always been a values-based organisation and committed to doing stuff that people need, solving issues that people have in the community, and originally was very connected to the Uniting Church and an organisation kind of owned by the Uniting Church. And as we've got more mature and we've grown and we rebranded Uniting SA, we've actually set ourselves up as a company limited by guarantee now. So while we connect with the church from a values-based, and we have a wonderful minister who's just really a fantastic source of support for us, and he connects to our values, we are a company. So we operate in every kind of professional way you'd expect of a large organisation like us. So 12,000 clients are supported by Uniting SA each year, so we're pretty big, and 1,000 employees and lots of volunteers, although we certainly want to grow our volunteer group again after COVID. So as I said, we're really about working in community, doing what makes a difference, and being part of the place where we live. And our head office, as you know, is Port Adelaide based, but we've reached out now across the whole state. So it's great to be here in our heartland of West Lakes today. Right, so I did briefly mention that we're a values-based organisation, and that compassion is one of those things that these things often go up on a plaque, they go on a sign, but we really like to live them, and that's really important to me, that we are holding these true, and that you see them in our behaviours, and both for in the way that we support and listen to people and don't come in and kind of dictate what will fit. We understand what the needs are, and we do our best to help people. We're not just a tick box, and we're not just trying to squeeze you a round peg into a square hole. We know that people are individuals, and we work that way with our staff too. And we're very blessed that we have lots of long-serving staff, and it's all about relationships at the end of the day, I think, and that's what's really important for us. So it's about people, it's about compassion, as we've gone through some pretty tough times, and we know that we've got important work to do, and we've got a great reputation, which we didn't get by accident. So I think it's about our people are very caring. Right. So I did briefly mention that we've got a lot of services that join together, and you'll see our aged care approach there is that potentially you can have services with Uniting SA as needs change and up and down. So we have retirement living, independent living communities, our community aged care, in-home care and support, as well as residential aged care across 5 different settings. And it's a really significant part of our organisation's activities, and it's going to become more and more important, I think. So there's around 3,000 people that we support across our aged care work each year. Location-wise, so we've got offices and community kind of based services right across the state. You can just see a little bit there in terms of where we are placed on the map. And our communities in terms of residential aged care are predominantly across the west and north, clustered mainly in the western suburbs. And we go as far as the Riverland and Wyalla. We offer actually some multicultural aged care connection services up there, which have won awards, so that's really fantastic as well. So this is now, we're going to share a brief video, which I hope you enjoy, and so we'll switch on to that one now.
Oh yeah, we always welcome anybody.
Yes,
yeah, we do.
I think that's very important.
When Dad first died, Mum said, I will stay here as long as I can with as much help as I can.
Yes, I did.
Just a smile and a thank you. I love it. I love working with the residents.
We kind of, don't we, Sue? We kind of let people know that, hey, we care about you and you're come to join us.
Yesterday I had a comment, but I'm too old. And I said, you're not too old. I said, you're never too old.
I shall be 92 next week. We've lived in this house for approximately 48 years.
I have no brothers and sisters, so it does feel like Uniting SA fulfilled that role for me.
It's community living, but you're not on top of someone else. Sue every now and then likes to roast, don't you?
And I make lots of nice soup and share that around the neighbourhood.
I've got my own little garden on my veranda. And it's lovely to see Dot's birds. Have you been over there to have a look at?
No, I haven't seen my birds, no.
Yeah, well you want to come and have a look.
We're a very bubbly team, so I think we have ways of communicating with the residents and getting them involved. We try and capture that normality that they did have living in their own home through their interests.
What's good is it can be personalised to your particular needs.
Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Yes.
And fortnightly on Thursdays.
And fortnightly on Thursdays, yes.
I can go to work and feel comfortable and confident that Mum's all right.
I put my blinds up as soon as I get up, because if the blinds aren't up, she knows something's wrong.
Nosy. A day is a long time and a night's longer if you're not feeling very well and you don't know who to reach out to. So that's what we've tried to do.
I hope they feel at ease here as much as I do with having them. The company and the conversation is of great interest and a great help, believe me, yes.
When the lifestyle team can show them that it's possible to still do the things that you used to do, I think we can see that they're happy. We do notice they walk away feeling better and they'll thank us and say, you know, I really enjoyed that. You made me happy or you made me laugh today.
Your house is you. Fortunately up to now, thank you very much, Olive, I'm able to stay here.
This suits me.
It's the best decision I've made in my life.
You've got to be happy with where you are. That's what's important.
That's right.
That's a fantastic film, isn't it? It really does make you feel warm inside. And that's something that I think we like to do. We don't like to blow our own bags. We prefer people to talk about what they really experience, and that's the best way you can kind of promote what you do. So that's a lovely lead in to introducing you to the rest of our staff who are going to talk a bit more about some details. So I'm going to now introduce you to Bev Manuel. I always call Bev Manuel. I think it stuck with me. We had a joke about faulty towers and Manuel on faulty towers, and I always do it, don't I, Bev? I'm so sorry. Bev Manuel. So come on up. Are you coming up, Bev? I'm coming. All right, I'll stay up here. And so Bev is our Senior Manager for Aged Care Excellence, which is great. I mean, kind of signals to you that we don't want to be ordinary. We want to keep doing better and better. So, yeah, great. Over to you, Bev.
Thanks, Jen. Well, welcome everyone. I've had a chat with a couple of people already, so thank you so much for coming. I'm going to be talking about My Aged Care to start with. So my role is across all of the residential. So My Aged Care, if I don't know that, I'm in trouble. So My Aged Care is there for everyone as your first step to navigate aged care. Everyone needs an assessment through My Aged Care to be eligible for any services, whether that is your home care or your residential care. So it's really important that you touch base with My Aged Care first if you haven't already. So you can give them a call, you can jump on their website, you can do the initial contact visit over the phone. If you do require services and they assess your needs as requiring more than what you currently receive, they will do an assessment with you. That can be, what I'd say, it was normally done in person, but COVID times and maybe staff shortages in My Aged Care, now a lot of it is done over the phone, so which can be convenient for some families. So that assessment determines what care needs you require and really what funding you can get for those care needs. So if we talk about residential, if you're not assessed as needing residential care, then you're not funded to receive that care. So it's really important when you're talking with My Aged Care that you do share all your information. You don't do the, oh, I'm okay, I don't need much help, when we know that you really do. You need to be really open and honest with them for them to assess your care needs. So if My Aged Care don't assess you as needing residential care, it means that you would be a private payer paying about $350 a day, which no one has got. So you really want to get that assessment done and be assessed. There's also respite care that they can assess you for as well. So when you're having an assessment done, it's a good idea to ask them to assess you for everything, because quite often we'll get an assessment that comes through and someone is only assessed for permanent care, but they're not assessed for respite care. And you really want both. So when you're having an assessment and you're talking to them, just say, I want the lot. Just give me everything. So it doesn't mean that you're accepted into care somewhere. It means that that's what you're entitled to. So it's a 10-minute phone call. Have your Medicare card handy. It's a good idea if you're a bit unsure to have someone with you while you're on the phone. So they might ask some questions that you're just a bit unsure of, and if you're doing it for your loved one or a friend, it's best to have the person that's needing the care with you so that they can help answer some of those questions that you might not be able to. So by the end of the session, you will know exactly what you're entitled to. It does take a number of weeks for that information to come back to you with everyone now gets a referral number. So quite a long number. So that number tells us and every other provider what services you're entitled to. So now you don't have to hand around bits of paper, referral codes, etc. You can ring our admissions team, say this is my referral number, and we can actually download all your information and know what you're entitled to. So it's a lot easier nowadays to do that than it has been in the past. On My Aged Care website, there is also a cost calculator. So that can help you work out what costs you'll be paying for what services. And that might be home care services or residential. It is all obviously subject to the information you're putting in. If you're unsure of that, you can contact Centrelink, and they have a department called FIS, F-I-S, Financial Independent Services, I think it's called, and they actually give you free advice. So you may have to hold for 20 or so minutes, but they are really experienced, and there's actually some quite savvy money people on the end of those lines, and they can help you out with determining your care needs financially. So finding a service provider, well, that's where we come in, because you don't want to go anywhere else, right? You want to come to us. As Jen said, we're great, and we do. I love working here. We offer the best services and we have the best teams. So if you are looking for some services, we have our admissions line, and all the information will be in your packs for you to contact. Our admissions lines are open Monday to Friday. You can also email us. So any information you want, our admissions team can pretty much answer it. They're experienced, they've been in the game a long time, they know what questions to ask to determine what you're actually looking for. You know, we do have people that might ring up for residential care, but in reality they're only looking for someone to do a bit of home care a couple of days a week. So it's good to have that chat with someone and really determine and nut out exactly what you're looking for. So I will talk forever if I don't keep looking at this screen, I'm really sorry. So residential aged care fees and costs. As I said, Centrelink can help you with that. It really does go on income, whether you have a house, whether you're getting superannuation, whether you're a DVA, gold client, there is so many different variances. It also depends on who's living in the house with you. Are you moving out of the house and now it's going to be empty? There's lots of variables. We can talk you through the basics, but if you're looking for financial advice, we suggest you go to a financial advisor. We do have some numbers that we can pass on to you, and that financial information service line, they can help you really determine your fees. It is a little bit complicated. So we just suggest that you get some advice, really. If you don't know what you're doing and you're a bit unsure, we have a daily fee that everybody pays, but above that it then goes on really your assets. And assets can be cars, caravans, houses, holiday homes, super, rental income, etc. So it's good to get some financial advice. Oh, there you go. FIS, Financial Information Officers. They will assist you with all of that. All right? That is a free service. But if you want something, if you've got something a bit more complicated, we suggest you go to a financial advisor. Okay? So, I'm at the end. I can't believe I got through that, because normally I just keep talking. I'm going to pass you on to Margaret now, and Margaret looks after our retirement living. So I'll be back later to talk a little bit more about the residential care, but please welcome Margaret.
Hello, my name's Margaret Richards. I've been involved with Uniting SA for just over 15 years, I think. I started off as a volunteer, then worked with aged care and now work for retirement living, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. So if you're over the age of 65 and retired from full-time employment, you might be eligible for one of Uniting SA retirement living homes, or independent living as we also call it. This will give you the peace of mind to live in a community with people of your own age who are also retired. As the coordinator, I'm always available to discuss concerns and options to help you stay safe, healthy and happy in your own home. I can also help you with the process of dealing with my aged care that Bev was just talking about. It's not always easy, but I can be there to help you through that process. A bonus of living in a village, that there's no need to worry about maintenance issues. No worrying about lights that don't work, taps that drip, air conditionings that don't work. All of that sort of thing is covered with your weekly maintenance fees, which is, I think they start at about $91 for some of our sites. I think the maximum is about $106 a week, and that covers all your maintenance. Retirement living is ideal for people who want to enjoy a community of like-minded people who wish to remain living independently or want to keep options open for further support. Some of our sites, people are next to a shopping centre who have a cafe, and they meet regularly. And when I say regular, it's usually 5 times a week. They meet in the cafe and have coffee and chats and solve the problems of the retirement living. Uniting SA have 6 retirement living communities. We've got 5 in the western suburbs and 1 in the northern suburbs at Salisbury North. Here, our retirement living communities, we've got Hawksbury Gardens, which is at Salisbury. We've got 29 units, and they have 2 or 3 bedroom units. They've all got their own backyard and front yards, which is all secure. They've all got a garage and a pergola behind the garage. All the communal gardens at the front are maintained by our gardener, so it's just the backyard people have to look after, and that's the same with all the sites. McCutcheon Grove is at West Lake Shore. We've got 2 sites there actually. There's McCutcheon Grove, which is 29 units, and next to that is McCutcheon Grove West, which is a group of 7 units. As I said, shopping is close by. That's where they have the 5-day-a-week morning teas. It's close to West Lakes Lake, and there's a bridge and waterways to walk through. They all have their private own rear yard and close to Grange. They're all 2-bedroom self-contained units at West Lake Shore. Vista Apartments is above us on the top level here, which is independent living. We have 17 apartments, beautiful views, depending on where the unit is. You've got city sites, you've got the Oval. Some of them can see the Oval and the sea, and then you've got West Lakes, the lake as well, to see. The new library and the new facilities around here are really helpful for the residents. There's lots of places to go and see around the area. Wesley Court at Rosewater is a small site. They're 1-bedroomed units. Again, they've got their own backyards, nice communal yards, all off-street parking at that site, and they're close to transport, medical and shopping services. Westminster Village, that's a really popular site. We've got 38 units there. They're all 1-bedroom units. It's located right behind the Westminster aged care facility. Willason Grove is a lovely site as well, 16 units, all 1-bedroom units, all located next to a council park. So we've got a few people at that site with little dogs because they like to take them for a walk over to the park. Close to Semaphore, jetty, and they've also got an outside undercovered shared entertaining area. And what else can I tell you? Many of our retirement villages, as I said, are co-located with our aged care facilities. Whether you want to move closer to a loved one, which sometimes happens, one of the partners is in the aged care facility and then the other person wants to be close by so they can walk to see them. Payment varies on each home, depending on the site. Also, the 1-bedroom units are a little bit cheaper than the 2-bedroom. and the 3 bedrooms at Hawksbury, and then of course upstairs on the top levels a little bit dearer again. At the moment we don't have any current vacancies at any sites. However, if you're interested in looking at retirement living, I can give you an application form, take your details, and when something comes up I can let you know and you can have a look over the site and over a vacant unit. So any questions, I'll be here afterwards if you'd like to have a chat to me. And now I'd like to introduce Mel Cox, or Melissa Cox.
Hello everyone, I'm Melissa Cox. I'm the manager of Community Aged Care. So our Community Aged Care team is made up of a varied range of professionals, from nurses to occupational therapists to physio to our highly qualified support workers. So our aim is to support people to live their best life in their own home in the community. We offer quite a broad range of services. So from those who may need just a little bit of help around the home, to home care packages that range from low level to high level, and also our transitional care packages, which are to support people who have just been in hospital, been assessed and need a little bit of rehabilitation to get back on their feet again. So our community options basically is made up of transport services, shopping, social support. We also offer group activities and specialised cultural support. And then we've got our home care packages. So that's when you need that little bit more intensive support that range from level 1 up to level 4, depending on what you're assessed by My Aged Care. Some of our services we offer range from nursing and allied health to personal care, providing mobility aids and equipment, housework, maintenance, meal preparation, shopping, and the list goes on. So people assess for home care packages is very much about what the consumer needs to remain living safe and independent in their own home. Sorry, I'm not very good at holding a microphone and trying to flick through my pages. It is very tricky. So like Bev mentioned before, most of our services require a My Aged Care assessment. So even if you need low-level in-home support, you'll have what's called a My Aged Care assessment over the phone, and then a regional assessment person will come out to your home and just do an in-home assessment. They'll then approve you for the lower level cleaning, shopping, gardening, that basic support that you might just need for your first entry into aged care. If you require the more high-level support, then you have what's called an aged care assessor come out to your home. They're the ones that will assess you for the higher-level home care packages. Different funding is attracted to each level of the packages. So a level 1, you would get a lower amount, and a level 4 would be that real high-level nursing, allied health type supports. Our transitional care package, so they're assessed mainly in the Western region by what's called Carlin, so your local health network, through the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, the Royal Adelaide Hospital, and they do a specialised assessment. And then when you receive that package, you're really looking at occupational therapists, physios, nursing to get you back on your feet again. And then we have our Faggoter Grove group home. So this is a very unique program. It's a very unique group home where we've got 12 studio rooms. The clients have to have a very high level of independence. So all that's offered in this home is a 3-course lunch. Dinner provisions are prepared and put out for the residents, and also breakfast provisions. If they need in-home support, they access that through our home care programs. So they might need a bit of cleaning, they might get a Commonwealth Home Support person to come in, or if they need that little bit more intense support, they might get a home care package that comes in to help them live independently in the group home. I don't think there's anything else. I'm sure I've got plenty of notes here, but like I said, I'm trying to flick through my notes and also hold a microphone. But I'll be here for the rest of the afternoon to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Mel. Okay, so I'm going to talk about our residential aged care facilities now. So we have 5 facilities in the west and the north. We do have specialised memory support services, so we have memory support units in a few of our sites, which I'll go into detail. 24-hour nursing care. The spiritual, emotional and palliative care is done very well. We have pastoral workers at all of our sites. We do take respite and permanent care options, which was what I was discussing earlier when you have your My Aged Care assessment. It's really important, if you haven't had that assessment, to get it done for both respite and permanent care. We have lifestyle activities and activity programs at all of our sites. So we have trained lifestyle staff who previously were called diversional therapy staff. They do all of the activities for the residents. So some sites do them on weekends, but all sites do them Monday to Friday during the week. We also do weekly guided tours now, which is really exciting. So we launched 2 weeks ago, which is really exciting. So weekly on all of our sites, we offer a tour. So it's just a guided tour through the facility to have a little bit of a look, a little bit of a nosy, see what's happening in the area. Bookings can be made online. So on our Uniting SA website, there is an option there to make a booking online. You can make the booking directly by ringing the site. If you can't navigate online and you think, I want to go to, let's say, West Lakes, you can actually ring the site and they can do the booking for you as well. You can also ring admissions number, which you've all got, and they'll make the booking for you too. If you can't attend the booking that you've made, you can retract your booking or ring the site and tell them that you're not coming. But a really important, exciting feature, I think, for Uniting SA. It's new, and our take-up has been really good. So we also have options to suit all needs and budgets. So we don't just take everyone that has $1 billion. We also take people that don't have $1 billion. So we work with each individual family, resident, to come up with a solution for that family. So some of our sites have dearer, you may have known them as bonds before, so now they're called RADs, so accommodation deposit, so refundable accommodation deposit, and they vary across the sites. But we can work with families, so every single case is individual. So we would discuss that with you through the admissions team. So I'm going to throw that down. I'm like Mel. So our first site is Hawksbury Gardens, so that is at Salisbury North. That is co-located with the retirement living that Margaret was talking about. We've got 89 residents at that site, recently expanded, award-winning design. We have the on-site kitchen and hairdresser. That site also has a memory support unit in it as well, pretty popular option because it is our only northern site. So we do tend to get quite a few applications for Hawksbury just because it's the only one sitting in the north, the rest are in the west. So lovely site. We've got Seaton Aged Care. So this is a different site for us. It is a really culturally diverse site, and I love that because there's so many different languages being spoken there. It's a small site, 50 residents. Beautiful, really small, really quite a family. I think once you move in there, you just become integrated into the family because it's so small. Apparently the best cooking out of all the facilities I've heard. Apparently the chef is absolutely amazing. So lovely site. So that's located on Trimmer Parade, so not far from here. Then we have Wesley House at Semaphore Park, so that's on Military Road. That is a 2-storey, you would have seen it, big opposite the big playground on Military Road. It's got 168 residents. That is a beautiful site. It's probably, shouldn't have favourites, but I don't know. There's something about that site that I just love. On-site cafe, hairdresser, again, has a memory support unit. So even though it is a big site, it doesn't feel humongous when you're in there. It's a lovely, lovely site. We then have this beautiful site right here. So Westlake's Aged Care, 108 private rooms, obviously brand new, right next to the West development. Who loves shopping? You have Westfield right there. Again, on-site chef-led kitchen and soon to open on-site cafe right here, and hairdresser. Beautiful site. So I was talking to someone that's looking at this site currently. Really, really lovely site, and so close if you are living around this area. We also have Westminster Village at Grange. So that's co-located again with our retirement living. 101 residents. We recently, I was talking to someone else, refurbished, so we actually demolished some of the buildings and we've rebuilt, and it is absolutely stunning. So on Fort Street, corner of Sylvan Way and Fort Street, I think. Soon to open cafe too, and hairdresser on site. That also does have the secure unit too for the memory support. So beautiful facilities, really close by. So if you're looking for a facility in the West, the good thing about being Uniting SA is you've got the choice of 4 out in the West. So normally other companies are scattered all over Adelaide. Give our admissions team a call. If you are looking, you are thinking about it, you don't know the process, you're just wanting a bit of information about how My Aged Care works, please give the admissions team a call. We'll be more than happy to talk you through the process. And like I said, you might think you're looking for one kind of care, but you might actually need another, and we might have some ideas that you haven't thought of. So please feel free to give us a call. Like everyone else, I am now here for question time. So, yep.
Hey everyone, so now it's a chance to ask all of our lovely speakers some questions. So I've got a roaming mic so that even people at home who are watching from the comfort of their lounge room can tune in and hear the questions too. So perhaps if you just put your hand up and we'll race the mic to you and hopefully answer your questions. And don't be shy, of course. Any questions at My Aged Care? No.
I think they've all had enough of me. Or you're just looking at that morning tea.
Bev, maybe I think it's quite interesting to understand the ratio that's available in terms of people who may not have any assets and may not have ready funds. Mm-hmm. What kind of support is available, and do we have places available in all of our homes?
Mm-hmm. You've got a question. Okay. So I'll answer this question first from Kyla. So we do take everyone on an individual basis. So if you pop onto our website, and you might see that RAD that I'm talking about, refundable accommodation deposit, is a lump sum of money that gets paid back to the resident when they move out, or the family if someone passes away. That is negotiable. That is not the hard and fast rule. You'll see that in every single facility throughout Australia, and we all have to put those prices on our website. But it is not hard and fast. We do take people that are concessional and don't have any assets. So we have a bit of a ratio that we work on the sites, and it literally is case by case. Someone might ring us and, lucky for them, they've got a house that's worth $500,000 and that's amazing. And someone else might ring us and their loved one is still staying in the home and that's their only asset, and that's quite common. Then we would look at what we call a supported resident. So it is a resident that moves in that is fully supported by the government. So they pay the basic daily fee, which I know I'm put on the spot now, and I think it's $56.84 a day. I think I should have really remembered that. That works out to 85% of the pension. So that is what every single resident pays, no matter who you are, whether you have any money or not. It's 85% of your pension. You do then have to pay for any medications and all your incidentals. If you want to go to the hairdresser, if you want to go shopping, those kind of things you need to pay for. That $56 a day pays for everything in the home. So it is your care, your laundry, your food, your entertainment. It absolutely covers everything, okay? So if you are those assets, it does become quite complicated, and we're happy to talk that through with you. But don't be afraid if you're sitting there thinking we don't have anything, because it is a case-by-case basis, okay? The government does determine, I will just say, your fees, so that is not negotiable with the government. So they will actually determine what they believe you are able to pay, and that is not negotiable, all right? We're just doing what the government tells us there, but from our side, it's a different story. Okay.
Hello, Bev.
Hi.
This is only my second day at the Uniting SA, so I have a question, because I don't want anyone to think this is a planted question. It's a personal one. Having been through the aged care process with my dad recently, he had 2 months in hospital, and then he was put into respite care, which in the last 24 hours I realised that he probably should have been put into transitional care. He's subsequently gone home and has help at home now. So can you explain the difference between transitional and respite? Because my mother didn't understand that respite was also for her, not just for Dad. So she was still cooking and cleaning and going back and forth whilst he was in aged care facility, and we had no idea what respite was.
Okay. So we don't call it transitional here, so we offer respite care. So respite care originally came around, because I've been in aged care a long time, it originally came around because a family member was going on holidays, someone was going in for an operation, just someone needed some respite from the care duties. That's originally what it was for. It has now changed very much. It is now a transitional, it is someone's leaving hospital but they're just not quite ready to go home yet. They may do a try before you buy. Someone might come in and have some respite care and go, this is the place for me, this is where I want to be, or I don't like being in aged care and I want to go back home with some more services. So respite care has changed, and it means something different to every single person. If you've got anyone in hospital, they're saying to you, get your loved one into some respite care. Just as we were talking before, I would say be very careful with that if you are never planning to take your loved one home again, because respite care is simply respite. If we say it's 3 weeks, it is 3 weeks, and it means on that 21st day you are expected to take your loved one home. So if you're wanting that break, by all means book your respite care. If you know that it is going to be permanent care but you need to get your finances sorted, talk with us, because we could bring you in for a few weeks respite care until you have your finances sorted, and then we can convert you to permanent care. So there is multiple ways of doing it, which is why I say give us a call, because it can get a bit tricky. It's very important that you know your finances before someone is moving in, and if you don't, and a crisis has happened and someone's ended up in hospital, then talk to us. We want to come in permanent, but we just need to get these finances sorted. Can we have some respite care for a couple of weeks first? So multiple ways of doing it.
My mum has a level 3 package, but she has dementia. She lives at home, but she's very feisty and very independent and very frustrating, and she won't accept any help. So how long does the package last? Is it 12 months? Sorry.
That's a really good question. So the package is there to support your mum as long as she's remaining at home. If the level 3 would attract a certain amount of funds to keep mum at home. Then if she needs more help, she can actually access a higher level package or be assessed to access a level 4. We find that quite common. So people get their home care packages, they're like, I don't want this person coming to shower me. They shower before we arrive, they cook before we get there. It's very challenging. Our staff are fabulous at it. They're fabulous at going in and making the consumer feel quite comfortable and making it like it's their idea to have a shower. How do we go about that? What do you normally do? You show me how you have a shower. Some services do go in place and they're a little bit forceful for them. They kind of are taken back to go, hang on a minute, this is quite invasive. So it really depends on the approach of the staff members. So obviously there's all different providers out there and everyone would have a different approach. Our nurses would obviously, if they've got dementia, our nurses would also go in and just do some cognition screenings to work out what mum's functional level is, not only the memory side of things. So they basically look at what can mum do in the shower? Can she do things independently? And then writing a really specific care plan so your mum feels comfortable and safe with the support that's being provided.
And Mel, does that approval for that package expire, that level 3? Or
no, it doesn't. As long as you're at home and you're able to stay home safely within the funding of the government. So each level attracts different government funding, but we have a lot of people that may be on a level 4, they need more than what the government can provide. They pay a contribution, and then what they do is they top up that package to be able to meet their needs to remain home as long as possible. We have some people that might have around 10 to 12 to 15 hours of support per week in a home. 10 hours of that may be funded by the government, where the additional 5 hours they may top up because they really don't want to go into residential care and they feel comfortable and they're able to live at home safely.
My understanding is, though, that you have to have a provider to keep that package active, otherwise it becomes inactive. Is that right?
You do. So what happens is you're assessed by the aged care assessment team. You go on kind of a waiting list. So that means you've got an approval for a home care package. Then you get a letter to say you've been assigned a home care package. You have 56 days to take that package up or find a provider, as they say. And then you start planning your services. Once you've got a provider, you might just start and think, okay, I just want a bit of cleaning for now. That provider will provide you with cleaning. They'll work out a budget for your services, and then they'll review every 12 months or if a medical episode occurs. And then as you need more services, you can engage them through your package. So once you've got your provider, then if you're not using all your funds, they keep accumulating that you can be assessed to have recliners or beds or home safety modifications done.
any other questions? No? I think we're good. Margaret, do you have any common questions in relation to retirement living that frequently get posed?
Yeah, a lot of people ask, when we leave retirement living, that when we leave retirement living, where does our money go? What happens to our money? So for some of the sites, what we'll call the lower end price bracket to get into, the fees that you pay, an entry contribution, if you leave within the first 4 years, you get a portion of that back. After 4 years, you don't get any of that back, but your a level of maintenance fees stays the same. Some of the other places that you pay more money to get into, you have 75% back of what you've paid when you go in. The other 25% is kept by the organisation. But when you leave, there's no refurbishment fees, there's no exit fees, there's no ongoing fees until the place is occupied. So when someone leaves, you receive your 75% back of what you've paid when you go in, and then that's it. We don't charge any other ongoing fees after that. And the refurbishment fees come out of what we've retained.
Beautiful. Anything else? I think that might be a wrap. No? All right, well, thank you so much, everyone. And we're now going to break for some refreshments. We've got some tea and coffee and some savoury delights, I think, and some other things to enjoy. Kelsey, with the brown hair here, will come around and get your raffle tickets while you're all sitting down. So we'll do that draw. And I think that's about it. And you can obviously have a chance to engage one-on-one with our team members up here and our CEO, Jenny. So thank you so much for coming today. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.